very much. I know I am not the person you came to hear, but Chairman very nicely allowed me to have 10 minutes, and I'll probably take 11, to talk about something that I think is very important for all of us to consider. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow Republicans, a few months ago, Jeff Hoffman came and spoke to our group, and he said he was losing sleep over how to get the Trump voter out to the polls in the midterms. After all, he could see what we all could see, particularly in the 1st District, where Representative Bill Meeks won by under 1,000 votes, but President Trump won the district by 35,000 votes. Now, why is that? Why did that happen? Well, the Trump voter, normie voter, the regular Joes and Janes out there, they really don't trust the GOP brand. They feel they've been lied to and misled by the GOP way too many times. Read my lips, no new taxes. There are WMDs in Iraq. We're going to repeal Obamacare. And then we don't. And then we allow churches to be closed, small businesses to be boarded up, but we're going to keep our corporate pals happy and have the big box stores open. And you wonder why the normal voter out there has a bad taste in their mouth about the GOP. But we have a chance in 2026 to turn that around if we do 3 things. We embrace our 250th birthday, the principles of the Declaration of Independence, and the 4 freedoms that the Trump voter really cares about. And those 4 freedoms are medical freedom, food freedom, financial freedom, and political freedom. Now, a poll was done last year by the best pollster of the Trump era, Richard Barris, and he found overwhelming support for these 4 freedoms across all demographics, age, race, gender, including large numbers of Democrats and independents. Trump campaigned on most of these issues, and he won big. And I put some excerpts of the poll on the table. Please take a look at it. Now, for 2026, it's our 250th birthday. And we're going to have celebrations starting in just a couple of weeks, this July 4th, and it's going to continue all the way through next July 4th. And those celebrations are going to make the festivities of the bicentennial back in 1976 pale in comparison. And the reason for that is one man, Donald John Trump. Because he's going to make sure we have the biggest, the brashest, the best celebrations you've ever seen. And you know he's going to do that. And the Trump voter is going to come out in droves. And they're going to bring their friends. And their friends are likely the people who did not vote in 2024. People that get swept up in this pro-American celebration. And for probably the first time in most people's lives, they're actually going to think about the Declaration of Independence, the principles that make that up, and what it means to be an American. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. And we have to hammer home the connection between the Declaration and these 4 freedoms. Medical freedom, life. People want to have informed consent over what goes in their bodies. They hate mandates. They know they were lied to during the COVID idiocy. And we need to campaign on talking about that we will never do that ever again. And we need to say it often. Additionally, we need to campaign on holding drug companies liable for vaccine injuries. In that poll, 74% agreed with that. Food freedom, liberty. People want to be able to get food directly from a farmer without the government being involved. 78% agreed with that across the nation. Now, we may not have that much problem here in Iowa, but in other states like Pennsylvania, where they're persecuting an Amish farmer by the name of Amos Miller, it is a big deal. but it is a principle that Iowans hardly agree with. Financial freedom, pursuit of happiness. You earn money, and you want to spend it the way you want to spend it. But then the government comes in at every level and takes huge chunks of that away from you. Then has you fill out a gazillion forms just to prove to them that you paid every cent that they say you owe them. Now, we often talk about lowering taxes, but let's just make that a little bit bigger. Let's talk about some innovative ways so that people can spend money the way they want without the government being involved, such as cryptocurrency, which had 55% support in the poll, and was a huge hit with people in their 40s, who, by the way, are the future of the GOP. We also need to campaign on drastically simplifying our tax code, in addition to lowering taxes, so that people can truly pursue happiness. Political freedom, consent to the government. We voted against Great Britain because they were tyrannical. Well, our government, the bureaucrats, and particularly the courts, are becoming tyrannical. Our rights are being squeezed, whether it's the right to free speech, the right to redress the government, all of those rights are being squeezed by the government, and the bureaucrats who are in charge of the government act as if we have no right to hold them accountable and find out what they're doing. In that poll, 73% thought that bureaucrats had too much power. And 79% said that ordinary citizens, we the people, don't have enough power. We saw with Doge over the last few months just how right those people were. So we need to campaign on implementing the principles of Doge at every level of government. The government loves to watch and spy on us. It's time we return the favor. Now, a new friend said I need to be a little bit less cerebral and give everyone an action plan. So here it is. If we as the GOP, activists and candidates, campaign for the next year like we always do, we're going to squander this awesome opportunity. TV ads, mailers, they're a waste of time. They don't work this day and age, particularly people under 40. Instead, we need to get involved with social media, podcasts, citizen journalism. We need to participate, and get engaged at all those levels and all those platforms. That's where the energy is, and that's how we can get our message out the best. We also need to get out in front of all these celebrations that are going to be happening, and create a few of our own. We need to register people. Register them because the people who are going to come up to these celebrations, like I said, the Trump voters are going to come out, and you're going to be bringing their friends who probably didn't vote in 2024. So we need to register them. And we need to have merchandise that celebrates our 250th birthday and combines the principles of the Declaration of Independence and the Four Freedoms. We want to brand the GOP in 1776 and 2026 patriotism. We can turn this around. We can get the Trump voter out to the polls and bring their friends out to the polls next year if we embrace the celebration that we have coming up for our 250th birthday and combine it with the Declaration of Independence, its principles, and the four freedoms I've been talking about. Medical freedom, life. Food freedom, liberty. Financial freedom, pursuit of happiness, and political freedom, consent to the government. The Trump voter and the normal voter out there, they will respond, and we will have an election to remember. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.